Good morning. Krista Woodard here from the Osceola Public Library, and it is time for another Virtual Science Saturday. We are continuing with our snow and cold theme, which works out pretty well this month, especially considering the snow today. So here's what we have for today. We are going to do a snowflake salt painting. I don't even have an example to show you just yet, but bear with me, we'll have one. What you're going to need is, you can either freehand your own snowflake template or find and print one of these off, or even come pick one up at the library, because I have several different patterns that you can use. So a snowflake stencil or paper that you can draw a snowflake on. Thicker paper's better, probably cardstock maybe. Then you're going to need some glue, just regular white glue. Some salt, food coloring, which we do use a lot, some water in a cup, and a pipette or a little medicine, an eyedropper, something like that. You could even use a straw if you know how to do that. I have bought a bunch of pipettes, so if you need some, come on into the library and I'd be happy to give you one, okay? So here's what we're going to do is you're going to, let's see, where is my example? There. Whoops, see, I reused some cardstock. Okay, so there's my snowflake template on cardstock, some thicker paper. What you're going to want to do is using your glue, fill in the pattern to make your snowflake shape. Right, there we go. All right. Okay. Now, for the sake of time, I'm going to not fill in my whole thing. I just want to show you how the process is done, and then I'll show you the second step. Okay, and I have some of the salt that was left from earlier, so I'm going to kind of sprinkle that on there. What you want to do is put your salt on so that the glue is covered with salt, so that it will kind of stick to the glue. Okay, and so if I shake it around a little bit, and then I can do this and tap off the extra. I don't know if you can see that. Like I said, I only did a little part of it, but you can see how the salt is now stuck to the glue. Okay. And by putting it on an extra piece of paper, I keep the mess off the table. So there you go. All right, now the next step is, here is one that I did, about an hour ago, maybe an hour and a half. And so it's a little bit dry. And that's what you're going to want to do with yours. Let it sit for, you don't have to do an hour and a half, maybe 15 minutes, maybe a half hour to let it sit and dry just a little bit. And then what we're going to do is we're going to mix watercolor, food coloring into our water. So I'm gonna do, I think I'll do purple. No, I'm going to do blue. It will match me. Again, it's that frozen look. Okay, now I'm sure you know, the more drops of food coloring in there, the darker it will get. So there we go. Ooh, that's a nice pretty blue, isn't it? All right. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to use my dropper, my pipette, or whatever you have. You could even use a paintbrush, I think, just to get a little bit of it off of there. You just don't have quite as much control with the paintbrush. Okay, so then what we're going to do is just do a little drop at a time. Ooh, right on the salt. It's fun to watch, isn't it? One drop. And then you can see how it kind of spreads along the salt. Oh, that one was fun. By doing here. And of course, there, it's running down a little bit, of course, because I'm holding my paper up. But you, like I say, you can see how it is following the salt and absorbing along as it goes. Okay. Now, if I wish I had had another cup where I could put a different color of food coloring in it, and then we could have tried mixing colors a little bit. Maybe I'll just put another color on there directly. No, I think the purple will go nicely with it. It'll be a lot darker than if we mix it with water, but we'll still kind of see the same effect. So, drop, drop. There. Well, that is so dark it almost looks black. I don't quite get the pretty purple until it starts absorbing more. Oh, now it's running down the page though, so I'm gonna turn it this way. Can you see the pretty purple as it kind of spreads out and lightens up a little bit? All right, let's put some purple in there and see what it does. Okay. Oh, it did make a new color. So there you go. See, even mixing the colors can be kind of fun, except that I'm getting a little messy here. Okay. All right, so you could always have fun with it and not do snow shapes. You could do other shapes. You could do hearts, or you could do stars, or you could even use the glue to write out your name and put the salt on there and do the same thing with the food coloring and the water. It's fun. Okay, so you want to notice, or we did notice, how the water moved through the pattern, how it absorbed and moved through the pattern. You'll want to let it sit and over-dry overnight. I'm sorry, let it dry overnight, and then it'll be pretty. You could just put it up. Now, what is the science behind all this, you might ask? Okay, mostly, and we like to do STEAM here, right? Science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. I think that when we push STEM, we need to remember arts as well, because arts are very good for just for everything. And so we do include that here. So there is, of course, the artistic part of this. But the other part is, I don't know if you can see this word very well in there, hygroscopic. Hygroscopic. What does hygro sound like? It sounds a little bit like hydro, and hydro means water. Hygro, however, means moisture or wetness. So it's close to water, but not quite. Hygroscopic means that it absorbs both liquid water, which was our food color water mix, and water vapor in the air. So it makes it absorbs water from around it, whether it be through the water we put on it or through the water in the air. Hygroscopic. So there's a new word for you. All right. Thank you for joining us. Have fun today, and we hope to see you next week, okay? All right. Bye.